Engineering Surveying, DE 5205, Session 5, Volume. Hello, welcome to Engineering Surveying, Session 5. So let's go and make a start by going to the course Moodle. And here it is here. And we'll go straight away to Engineering Surveying and Session 5. Oh, no we won't. We'll start at Session 4. Okay, so here's Session 4 here. And what I've put in here, field work from last week. Well, there was no real field work last week. I've put a little vlog in here just outlining how we placed, I think 6, I might have said 4 in the vlog, but I think 6 new survey marks. And then we also had a drone demonstration where we saw a drone being used and taken off and taking a few photographs. So that was pretty much it for the field work for that day. And so yeah, this week we're going to be doing some survey work around the new marks. So yep, that's all good there. So we'll go back to Session 5 and let's just go to the session notes for Session 5 and work our way through the notes, which of course is in a PowerPoint. Like so. Here now the PowerPoint has actually appeared on my second screen, so we'll just pop that up in there like that, and slideshow and from the beginning. Okay, there's our title, and there's my contact details certainly there, and the plan for the session plan for the week, which is of course I don't know why that's happening like that. I'm going to drop that down there. So that's the session plan for the week there, and as you can see, my big head is in the way, but essentially we're going to have a 2-hour lecture or computer lab really, and in that I'm going to go through a bit of an introduction and what have you, and then introduce the weekly tasks, and that's what I'm doing now in this video. Then we're going to go through to the practical, a 4-hour practical, where we're going to sign the class register and the health and safety docs, and then we're going to do some survey control and levelling on the Zoolander park. So we've put in 6 new marks, so we're going to include them in our survey control, and we'll also get the digital level out and include them in our levelling network, because the digital level gives us very accurate levels on those marks, which are far better than with the GPS. So that's going to get us all up and running for the control. We'll also be doing a set of finder diagrams or location diagrams for each of the marks, including the new one. So each person in the group will do 1 or 2 finder diagrams to a good CAD, a consistent good and CAD consistent standard that we can then use for the future going forward for each of the marks. So that's going to be happening there. Now here, of course, we've got the learning outcomes. So yeah, possibly I wonder if I could perhaps just maybe move my big head a little bit there like that. So we're going to be having an awareness of volume determination. We did area last week, and an awareness of volume of irregular shapes, or that should be irregular objects really. rather than shapes, but yeah, shapes it is. Undertaken volume calculations using CAD and 12D models. So we will be using worksheets that can be done by hand, but we will be just doing them using CAD and 12D model techniques. Now that's going to be a bit interesting. We'll have a look at those a bit later on. And discussed writing a survey brief. We've done this for quite a number of times, quite a number of weeks, but we do need to get a client brief done and prepared. So we might have to be a little bit more proactive on that as time goes on, but because it's beginning not moving forward, that one. Measured some new survey marks and created finder diagrams for survey marks. So that's the learning outcomes, yeah, for this week. Okay, now, is your diary up to date? I certainly hope that your diary is up to date, and yeah, that we can, yeah. So it's important, particularly with this thing, that you keep an accurate diary and a record of what happened and what you did, because that will become important in the overall report that you do for the project. So make sure your diary is up to date. And worksheets, I notice worksheets are coming in from some people. I haven't quite caught up with marking and stuff yet, but I will be getting on to that so that we can see where people are at. But I would recommend that you just keep them coming in and working through them. Most of you know that you've got them pretty right from what you're doing. So if you have any trouble with the actual worksheets, I suggest you try and catch me and talk to me individually about those. But yeah, keep your worksheets coming in and up to date, because they're obviously worthwhile and they affect what we're going to be doing ultimately. Now the Zoolander project, I think we're tracking along quite well on that. We should finish the control this week. We will have a bit of a catch up next week because we'll have an online week, so we probably won't be doing any field work in that week, but a chance to catch up on some worksheets and get everything up to date. And then we will have a test coming up, and so we do need to discuss the test and how we're going to deal with that, given the various circumstances that each of you are in. So in fact what we're going to do this week is review last week's field work, which was the new mark construction, which we've largely done by going through that. Today we're going to measure to the new marks. I had a bit of a look yesterday, and there could be some small calves in the paddock, so we may have to set the GPS up outside the paddock, just in a random position, and do a site calibration. So that might be an interesting sort of unplanned sort of thing that sometimes occurs and we have to do. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out on the day. We're going to measure to the new marks. I'd also like to obviously get finder diagrams for the new marks, but also just to get a consistent set of finder diagrams for the old marks as well, and see if we can update those get the existing information and see if we can get them updated and then get a nice consistent package there for our client. So that's something that we'll be considering. Okay, and then before next week, well, I'd just think you need to review those resources. As I say, it'll be an online week next week, as I may not be there in person, but I will be there in line with my little videos and what have you. So yeah, that's pretty much that there. And what's new in Moodle? So we'll go and have a look here in Moodle now by escaping out of here and hopefully getting back to where we were in Moodle, which is here it is here. So here's the video you're watching now, session plans, session notes, Today the field work for session 5 will go in here, hopefully with a video that won't get lost in translation. And these are some resources in here. We've got a sample control Travis. These are just of general interest, as what we're doing may be slightly different format to this. Some videos to help you with stockpile volumes and that sort of thing, how to go through and do those, some videos and notes. And then the worksheets are down here. There's 1, 2, 3 worksheets down here. And yeah, that's pretty much it as to what you need. We'll have a look at these worksheets just to give you a bit of a heads up on how you might go about them. So remember, you want to do these digitally. So what you've got here is a scale that is 1 to 250. So obviously you can scan or convert these plans to a JPEG and import them into AutoCAD and scan them, and then you would be able to put the heights in, like put points and give each of them a height, and then that would enable you to load them into 12D, or you could even do that directly in 12D. Might be a little bit more difficult scaling the stuff in 12D, but it is possible. So that, and you can get that data into 12D and then draw it, and then use the surface information there to work out the volume. So that would be what I would be recommending happening there. Probably the same deal with the next one as well. Oops, what's in this one? Yeah, again, we can just put the points in, put the heights in, and then we can tin them and work out the volume of the stockpile. So not too much. And volume 13 is the same. The big key with these is scaling them. So this has got a graphical scale, which is quite helpful. And so has this one here, got a graphical scale. Yep, that's got a graphical scale, but the first one doesn't have a graphical scale, I think you'll find. So yeah, you might just have to go with how it loads into 12D and just take that as being 1 to 250 and then work from there, so getting it scaled up correctly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Really, I will possibly provide hard copies of those, but it's probably not necessary, as you're able to download them from here. So we'll see how that all goes, but yeah, that'll give you some things there. Just next week, as I say, will be an online week, so there possibly won't be a practical, and the week after that, or possibly the week after that, we will discuss that in class. There could well be the first test coming up, so something to look forward to. So I think that brings us to the end of this little video, and well, hopefully I'll see you in class, but if I don't see you in class, this video will give you a good heads up of what sort of occurred. Cheers, see you.